This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from Milwaukee, American Family Field. It's game 2 of the 4-game set. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. And welcome to our Bally Studios here in St. Louis. Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you. And the Cardinals are trying to make it 10 wins in a row. And Brad, the offense at the top, in particular, 2, 3, and 4, they are clicking.
Yeah, how much fun has this been watching these guys go to work? Paul Goldschmidt, he has been hot, specifically since June. But you look at the 9-game win streak that the Cardinals are on. Well, he's got a lot to do with it, driving in runs. He's been clutch, but he's not the only one. Tyler O'Neill, Dan, has found himself a home sandwiched in between Goldie and Nolan Arenado. He has been on fire. It's been singles. It's been the big home runs. He showed off the speed. He has been doing a little bit of everything. And then Nolan Arenado drives in number 100 and 101 last night during this 9-game streak. He has been hot. No shock. 2, 3, 4, the meat of the order. They've been getting it done.
They are in the lineup tonight. For St. Louis, Jake Woodford. For the Milwaukee Brewers, Brandon Woodruff. Game 2 coming up on Bally Sports. They are the hottest team in baseball and trying to make it 10 wins in a row. A season high, 12 games above 500. Can they do it tonight? It's game 2. Brewers and Cardinals next. A look at the wild card and how it's unfolding in the National League. The last 10 games, the Phillies 5-5. For the Padres, a tough road trip, 2-8. Joey Votto and the Reds, 4-6, 3 back in the wild card. And the Cardinals have been on fire, 9-1 in their last 10. And tonight, trying to make it 10 straight wins. The last time they won 9 in a row was the 2004 team that won 105 games. Last time 10 in a row, you have to go all the way back to 2001. And that club had 2 10-game winning streaks and a 9-gamer. But it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. And Dan, I don't know, maybe it's happened. I haven't paid a ton of attention, but I don't recall this team being referenced to the 04 teams too many times throughout the year with the MV3, but they are playing like it right now. And boy, has this been fun in all aspects of the game.
Tommy Edman is at the top of the St. Louis lineup. Then Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Arenado. Homered, picked up runs batted in, 100 and 101 last night. Dylan Carlson, Yadier Molina, Edmundo Sosa, Harrison Bader, and the pitcher batting ninth, Jake Woodford. Brandon Woodruff, a record of 9-9, but don't let that fool you. Doesn't get a ton of run support. ERA of about 2.5.
Yeah, he's one of the best pitchers in the game of baseball. The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Brandon Woodruff. You're going to see a lot of fastballs. He likes that a lot, whether it be the 4-seam or the 2-seam. He'll mix in the changeup, the slider as well. And he's going to throw a lot of strikes. You can pounce early on Woodruff.
And the first pitch is taken for a ball outside. The Cardinals in the last 5 games really have set the tone. They've had 15 first inning runs in those 5 games. Edman was hitless last night. That doesn't happen very often. A ball and a strike. Going 2 straight games without a hit. That hasn't happened for Tommy Edman since the very beginning of August. Outfield straight away. And the 1-1 pitch. Good sinking action at 88.
Yeah, there's a really nice changeup right there, and you can just see with those last couple of pitches, he started out Tommy Edman with a fastball off the plate, 2 changeups in a row, gets back into it. There's a reason he's been so effective.
Last night, John Lester earned his 200th career win. The Cardinals took game 1, and now the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Woodruff is coming off of back-to-back losses to the Phillies and Tigers. 12 innings in those games, gave up 7 runs. And he had 1 run of support as Tommy Edman pops it back foul. Now, he missed some time with a non-COVID illness. It also hit Brent Suter, and it threw him for a loop. It was not COVID, but yet a sickness that made him miss some time and trying to really regain that form that he had earlier this year. The 2-2.
He has shown recently that he's a little bit human. He's got a 4.34 ERA in his last 5 starts, and the first one that kind of started that was against these Cardinals. He only went 5 innings in it, ended up giving up 6 earned runs, 5 of those in the 5th inning. They were able to jump on him a little bit later.
And a 3-2. Edman pops it foul. April, May, and June, he had an ERA that was under 2, and people were talking about him potentially being a Cy Young candidate. But since the start of July, he's gone 2-6, and the team in his 12 starts only 4 wins. The 8th pitch of the at-bat, and we'll have a 9th.
We like seeing this already. This count started off 1-0, but Woodruff did a great job getting right back into it with a couple of changeups, and Tommy Edmonds making him work early on.
Pitch number 9 in this first plate appearance of the ball game. Tommy Edman. And he missed in. A 9-pitch at bat and a walk. Terrific at bat by Tommy Edman, who replaced Colton Wong every day at second base, who's now with Milwaukee. Escobar is at first. Adames at short. Urias is at third. Peterson, Taylor, Garcia in the outfield. Omar Narvaez is behind the plate. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Edman, by the way, has stolen 6 straight bases without being caught. He has 25 on the year. And that's second in the National League. And that's a ball. He's tied with Fernando Tatis in stolen bases and trails Trey Turner, who has 30. Turner also leading the league in hitting.
I like having a guy like that on the team. I like the fact that they've been aggressive with him. Speed plays still.
And the 1-0 pitch. Take it for a strike. Paul Goldschmidt has had a really good year, and we all know that. But yet, when you looked at his first 45, 50 games, you're thinking, well, what's going on with Paul Goldschmidt? It's not the typical season that you expect. Well, he's gotten there. 60 extra base hits. That's the most among National League first basemen with Max Muncy and also Alonso. Total bases, second among first basemen. He's driven in 88, third most among National League first basemen. And probably the best defensive first baseman right now in the game,
I would say.
The 1-1. Runner goes. That's Edman, and a stolen base for Tommy Edman, number 26.
Putting the pressure on early. It was a great walk drawn by Edman, then utilizing that speed that we were just talking about. Get yourself in a good position here. And remember, look, last year or even early in the season, this would be a spot where it's like, oh, well, we got a base open here. We can just walk Goldie. You don't want to walk Goldie with the way that O'Neill has been going at it. Nolan Arenado behind him, as you mentioned, drove in number 100 and 101. All of a sudden, there's some real length in this lineup.
And the 1-2 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Edman, your runner at second. And Goldie hits it up the middle. Taken there by Colton Wong. And that will advance Tommy Edman to third. Well, we've seen some of that, Brad, here during this winning streak. Some of the things that you will have to do if you get to postseason play. Move a runner over if you don't bring him in. Sack flies, the bunting, all that.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like these are the type of pitchers in Brandon Woodruff you're going to see in the postseason, and obviously the Brewers are going to be there. It's not always going to be the long ball. Can you get him off the guy? Certainly you can. Tyler O'Neill's done it to him before, but you're going to have to figure out a way. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. How do you get him in?
Runs at a premium maybe tonight. So the infield brought in by Milwaukee. And the first pitch to Tyler O'Neill is a fastball and a strike. What a month it has been. Tyler O'Neill comes into play with a 9-game hitting streak, 9-game run scoring streak, and he scored 20 runs here in this month alone. The 0-1. One ball and one strike on Tyler O'Neill. Infield in. And a grounder foul. That stolen base for Tommy Edman. We talked about it, number 26 this year. That's most by a Cardinal since Tony Womack had 26. That outstanding team of 04. That team won 105 games.
That was a team that had plenty of power as well, but it just tells you how well the speed can complement it.
The 1-2, and it's fouled back.
Seen this a lot more with Tyler O'Neill. Teams are very careful throwing him breaking balls for strikes. I mean, he is punished off speed in the zone. Fastball up right there, fouls it off.
A count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tyler O'Neill. Boy, he's done a really nice job staying off of that pitch. I would say Bader has done that as well. Not to say you're not going to get him sometimes, but it's much improved.
Yeah, you're going to have your strikeouts. That part of it's going to be there. But even just the way that he takes it, all his weight's not out on his front foot. It wasn't like he was doing everything he can to stay back. He's recognizing these pitches.
The 2-2 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill sends it out to center. Taylor with the catch. Edman with a tag. Cardinals with a lead here in the first inning.
Just talked about it. Dan just mentioned how this team has been scoring runs early, figuring out ways to get themselves on the board, get a little momentum early on. They do it. Tommy Edman draws a walk. He steals a bag, gets over on the ground ball, and Tyler O'Neill does a job right there. Pokes that out to center. That's just good baseball.
O'Neill, Bader, and Carlson. So it's been talked about ad nauseum. You know, when you see Adolis Garcia doing what he's done with an all-star game appearance. Randy Arozarena last year turned into Babe Ruth. But that trio, the Cardinals said, hey, we're buying into O'Neill, Bader, Carlson. Well, they have scored or driven in 2/3 of the runs during this 9-game winning streak. And they're starting to become real factors. As Arenado skies one into left. And it'll be Adames with the catch. Tyler O'Neill drives in his 67th half inning in the books. 1-0. Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Beautiful city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Jake Woodford already has been given a 1-0 lead.
Love to see that. You love to see it for anybody, whether it be a veteran pitcher, but certainly a younger guy. You give him a little bit of a cushion and let him go to work. The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Jake Woodford. Going to see a lot of the fastball, mixes in the slider. The lefties will see a little bit of the curveball and the changeup as well.
And the first pitch to Colton Wong taken for a strike. The lineup for the Brewers: Wong, Adames, Escobar, Garcia, Narvaez, Urias, Peterson, Taylor, and Woodruff. Tell you what, Milwaukee, that city has been just buzzing. Coming off an NBA championship. Obviously, the Brewers are having a tremendous year, magical season for them. And the Ryder Cup is coming very shortly. If you love golf, it'll be at Whistling Straits. That's about 90 minutes from Milwaukee. And Steve Stricker is a Wisconsin native, and he is the captain. And if you know anything about golf, you understand that that is as good as it gets.
That's big time right there. You ever play that course?
Oh, yeah. It played me. It was tough.
It must have been that missed call I had. Yeah, things are going well in Milwaukee, but I tell you what, things right now in St. Louis are going pretty well also. And going back to something we were talking about during the game last night, that's why you play 162. Like, you think you have a team figured out, and then right at the end they turn it on.
The 1-2 pitch, and take it for a ball. Now 2-2. Wong was hitless last night. Boy, Cardinal pitching was tremendous last night, obviously with John Lester. And the Cardinal bullpen should be pretty well rested. 3 relievers combined to retire 8 of the final 9 in the ball game last night. Whitley, McFarland, Garcia just off the plate, and it runs a count full. I would say the season changed for Jake Woodford in relief in a ball game not that long ago in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was September 4th. He came in for KK. He went 5 1/3, only surrendered a couple of hits, punched out 5, and he was aggressive. Sometimes that happens too. Like you get thrust into a ball game that maybe you're not expecting to be in that early. Now, certainly he wasn't unprepared for it. He knew his role was going to be a long guy in the bullpen if you had to eat up some innings. But it's the longest relief appearance the Cardinal has had this year, and it was his best appearance that he's had this year. Didn't have time to think about it.
3-2 pitch, and he popped him up. Left side. Nolan Arenado with the catch. Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Kind of just goes back off of what we were just talking about. For Jake Woodford, pound the zone, attack these guys, go right after him. His fastball plays at this level. Just got Colton Wong out with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Go after him, command counts, and see how long you can hang in this one. They haven't asked him to go very deep in the last couple of outings. He's gone 4 innings against the Dodgers, win 4 against the Mets, 66 and 61 pitches respectively. They're just trying to get him through some innings, hand it off to the bullpen, but he can compete. It's going to be a big key for him also is what kind of a feel does he have for that off speed? Can he throw the slider to the righties for a strike? Can he throw the curveball to the lefties for a strike? 'Cause he's done a really good job recently of the fastball in the zone.
And the 1-0 pitch to Willy Adames taken low. Been dealing with various ailments that have kept him in and out of the lineup. Went 0 for 4 last night. The Brewers are 32 games above 500 when he is in the lineup. When he's out, they're right at 500. He's been a difference maker.
He has. He brought the energy, and something changed. And this happens sometimes. You get to a new place. Offensively, he was an afterthought over in Tampa Bay. He comes over here and he turns into a juggernaut with Milwaukee.
The 2-1 pitch. There's a terrific article written by Ryan Fagan, the senior baseball writer at the Sporting News, and he caught up with Adames, and he basically went through the season and some mechanical things, but also just how well he had played away from Tampa, and the Brewers thought that that might play for them. You know, they play in front of sparse crowds, that kind of thing. Kind of a dark, dingy, dungeness type facility.
It's a bad place to play.
You know, he gets out of there, and it's a change of scenery, and it's clearly made a difference. And that's taken high. So the 1-out walk issued by Jake Woodford. Here's a look at Paul Goldschmidt. He leads all first basemen in defensive runs saved with 9. Tommy Edman at second, Sosa at short. Arenado is at third. Molina behind the plate. O'Neill, Bader, Carlson in the outfield. Around the Horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Last night, Milwaukee did not get a man in scoring position. That's how good John Lester was and the bullpen for St. Louis.
It was a team effort last night. A little bit of everything. Scored early, tacked on more late. Bullpen locked it down. Thought Lester mixed it up really well. I enjoy watching these savvy veterans we'll go after it. I mean, they
long in the tooth.
Well, experienced.
Okay, I like that.
Very experienced. You can tell the way that they set up hitters and they recognize swings. And then you couple that with Yachty behind the plate. That's dangerous.
Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that is a strike. You know, Brad, we've talked about it a lot. And the beginning of the season, after the injury to Jack Flaherty, there was such a responsibility put on the bullpen to get innings, to get outs, starters trying to get length, and essentially the bottom line, throw some strikes. Here's a 1-1 to Escobar, and that's hit out of play. So since the beginning of August, the Cardinals have the 6th lowest walk rate in all of baseball. It's right around 7.4. Prior to that, it was the worst at just over 11.
I don't think it was close either as far as the worst. Cincinnati was there a little bit.
Yeah.
What a difference it makes, right? You compete. And specifically when you have this defense that this team has. Make them work.
That's the point. The 1-2. Ticket high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I like a good fastball in here against Escobar. That one got away from Woodford a little bit. I think if he spots one in, he gets him.
The 2-2. And again, taking a bit high, so now 3-2. Cardinals strike first with a sac fly by O'Neill. Cardinals 62-23 when they score first in a ball game this year. Adames, the runner at first base. He's not running, and it's lifted down the left field line. O'Neill over, makes the catch. Tyler O'Neill on the run. Again, this defense coming through, and what a play by O'Neill deep into the left field corner.
Well, you could tell Escobar off the bat wasn't even sure if that thing was going to stay fair. It does, and by a fairly wide margin, but Tyler O'Neill's got to go a long way to get there.
Well, it's a really nice play.
Well, the thing about that play, too, as off the bat of a left-hander, you know it's slicing towards the stands. It's always going to be headed that direction. Tyler O'Neill, with his closing speed, he makes it look easy. Got a lot of left fielders going to have to lay out for that.
Not a bad first inning for Tyler O'Neill. He's driven in a run and now makes that catch. And here is the cleanup hitter, Avisail Garcia. He's in his 10th major league season. And he's got career highs in home runs, 28 now after homering last night, and runs batted in, 83. And it's his best hard hit rate he's ever had in his career at 48%. Good pitch.
We saw it on the home run last night. Garcia really likes to get extended. Let's get those arms out a little bit. There is room inside. Now you can get them away, but you got to make sure it's either down or it's up. Yesterday it was kind of middle.
The 0-1. Again, a nasty pitch there by Jake Woodford. 0-2. So the team leader here in home runs, RBI, hits, total bases at the plate. 0-2 the count.
For me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'd go in there again.
Short lead at first by Adames, and Yachty sets up inside. They go there again, just off the plate, and it's 1-2.
Smart to go in there again, and that's a good miss. You want to miss in off the plate. And then if Woodford can bury that slider away, make it look like the fastball coming out of his hands, you're going to get him in swing mode.
The NL defensive run saved leaders among outfielders, and the Cardinals have 2 in the top 4. O'Neill with 11, Bader 18, tied with Duvall at the top, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in there. So again, you throw strikes, ball gets put in play. More times than not, this defense will come up for you.
We've talked about it plenty, but I mean, to me, that's my favorite thing to watch in the game of baseball. I love watching great defenders. I like watching the footwork and the reads, and Cardinals work on all this stuff so much.
And a pitch taken high, 2-2. Two pitch. They want to go back inside. They do, and it's pulled foul.
Well, this is where it would be nice if, in fact, Woodford does have a feel for that slider at all, and that is barely foul. That thing's going to be a double down the line, even as well as Nolan Arenado fields his position, if that's a couple inches to the right.
The 2-2. He got him, and a strikeout for Jake Woodford, his first. Coming up, Dylan Carlson, Yadier Molina, Edmundo Sosa. Hall of Famer and humanitarian Roberto Clemente dedicated his life to helping others. Major League Baseball annually honors the player who best exemplifies Clemente's spirit. Paul Goldschmidt, the Cardinals' 2021 Clemente nominee for his charitable work in the St. Louis community and beyond. Visit MLB.com/Clemente21 to vote for Goldie. Dylan Carlson to lead it off for the Cardinals. Top of the second, 1-0 our score. First pitch taken high. Cardinals got to Brandon Woodruff in that first inning. Tommy Edman, a long at bat that resulted in a walk. He stole his 26th base. Goldie moved him over. O'Neill brought him in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Doesn't always have to be the long ball, right, Dan? I mean, we've seen that more from the Cardinals. We've seen them be able to drive the ball out of the ballpark, and look, when they hit home runs, they end up winning a lot of games. But you're going to have to figure out ways to manufacture score without the long ball. They did that.
2 balls and 1 strike. Cardinals have picked up 6 games in the standings during this winning streak of 9. They were 3 out. Now they're 3 up. And trying to make it 10 in a row tonight. Fastball, take it high. Narvaez tried to pull it down, and it's 3-1.
Feel like when you say that, talk about this swing of 3 games down to 3 games up, probably a lot of people maybe tuned out for a little bit and came back. Glad to have you.
Welcome back. And by the way, I get it.
Yeah, it's a long season, and as frustrating as some of the season has been, certainly from a viewership standpoint, you're saying, where's the offense, where's the pitching? These guys wear it a lot more than anybody. They live it day in and day out, but they knew that this kind of baseball was there, and they're finally able to unlock it.
3-2, and a fastball struck him out. The first for Woodruff tonight. Our Indeed player resume: Yadier Molina, career stats, 3 hits shy of Hornsby, 3rd all time in Cardinals history. 1 double shy of 400. 171 home runs. He's 1 shy of Ted Simmons, 9th all time, and 6 shy of 1,000 runs batted in. Incredible.
I'm just sitting here thinking what his statue is going to look like. What's the pose? This guy's got Hall of Fame written all over him.
What would be that statue?
I don't know. Like you want him kind of maybe in a crouch. Maybe a snap throw. Mask flying off.
0-2. Hey, maybe it'd be him in action throwing. That'd be the one I think.
I think that would be good.
I think he's been defined certainly by his defense, but the offensive numbers have been really good. Chased a pitch up and a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Woodruff. Two outs, and it brings in Sosa.
You can tell on this one, Yachty didn't want to swing. He tried to stop himself, but he saw it out of the hand, and that thing just kept riding up in the zone. Once you committed to that one, there was no going back.
So back-to-back Ks, and Edmundo Sosa, the Cardinals shortstop. A fastball taken in, ball one. The 1-0 pitch. Fights it off and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reds 3 games back. Padres 4. Phillies 4.5. Mitch Keller, Tyler Mahle tonight for the Pirates and Reds in Cincinnati. Orioles are at the Phillies. Giants at the Padres. And for the Reds, they won 9-5 last night. That was their largest comeback win of the season. They were down 5-0 in that game.
Yeah, they appeared dead to rights in that one. Joey Votto, who had been quiet, hit 2 home runs. Easy for me to say, easier for him to do. What a year he's had.
Well, he's reached base, I believe, now in 14 of his last 16 plate appearances. So he's starting to get hot again. It's been great since the All-Star break. Nicholas Castellanos might win the batting title. He's got a shot at that. Castellanos at the start of play, he went 3 for 5 last night. He's hitting .313. Juan Soto .315, and then you have Trey Turner at .316. Unfinished business here for the Cardinals, but they're in a good spot. The 2-2 pitch. Sosa hits it in the air to center. Tyrone Taylor with the catch in a 1-2-3 inning. John Lester, career win number 200 last night. More on that when we come back. Now it's time for the Kia player profile. You know he loves hugs. Well, not really, but last night he didn't mind it as he picked up win number 200 of his career. He's 201-17. And a look at the career numbers. John Lester, significant milestone last night. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, it was a pretty special moment last night. Lester gets career win number 200 and goes down the line to make sure pretty much every teammate got themselves a hug from Lester. Lester told me, I haven't been in the grind with these guys for that long, but when I got here, everyone made me feel like I was part of it. It really seemed like they wanted me to get number 200 more than I did, and that's an awesome feeling. Lester said, with all the accolades and accomplishments for Yachty and Waino, these guys have been around it. To come here and fit in and be a small part of that was really cool. Dan, great stuff from Lester, who was a guest on the pregame show today.
Really enjoyed the visit. Thoughtful answers, well thought out, and of course the questions were sensational.
As always.
Of course.
There's no beating around the bush either. If there's a big question, Jim's asking it.
Yep. Omar Narvaez at the plate. 1-1 pitch taken high. And a swing and a miss. 2-2. Well, the starters are always together, aren't they? You find Wainwright. Nearby, it's Jack Flaherty. Then it's probably John Lester, Jay Happ. They all hang out in that dugout.
And if I'm a young pitcher, I'm creeping over there and getting every bit of that information. Well, that is the thing for all three of these guys, and Waino has talked about it for years, the constant evolution of what he's doing, how he prepares, always learning, always working on something else. Well, Happ, Lester, they're the same way, and these guys can end up helping each other. There's a reason why, first of all, they sit here and talk. There's a reason why they watch each other's bullpens.
There's a strikeout, and Jake Woodford, 2 in a row, is second tonight.
I like seeing that breaking ball for a strike right there from Jake Woodford. Again, it's going to be a key to his success. Is he able to drop those in for a strike? The fastball, he can locate that. That one goes back door with a good pitch.
Urias looks at a breaking ball taken low and away. The 1-0 pitch, another breaking ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Cardinals with that well-rested bullpen. We'll see how far they can go with Woodford. Already 34 pitches to get the first 4 outs, but no damage done yet. And the 2-0, another breaking ball.
That's the one right there. So it was an adjustment made by Woodford. The first couple of sliders, he's pulling off, probably trying to throw him a little bit too hard. That time he took his time. Rhythm was good, got his hand on top of it, and that got that true break.
The 2-1 came in with the fastball, now evened up at 2-2.
How about that defensive swing after he threw a slider in for a strike? You see that one that just continues to bore in on the right-hander Urias. That's well located. He's showing some good location arm side with that fastball.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Next to Urias is a fastball up, blew him away. 3 strikeouts in a row for Woodford.
Well, everything changed in this at bat for Woodford as soon as he threw that breaking ball for a strike. Then it opened up the inside part for the fastball. Then he's able to climb the ladder with the heater to get the 3rd punch out in a row. Love the adjustments.
Well, the Brewers' magic number is at 3. They are heading, they know for sure, to their 4th straight postseason after having been in the playoffs 4 times in their first 49 seasons. There's that curveball there in for a strike. There's Jace Peterson. What an odd trip he's been on this year in terms of being DFA'd, then brought back, and then having a significant role with this club.
You just never know exactly how a season is going to play out, do you?
That's baseball, and that's 6 months.
Yeah, well, and at times, right, roster moves have to be made. You got to move pieces around, but if you go put in your work, play some good baseball, you'll be right back.
And the fly ball lifted to Tyler O'Neill, and a 1-2-3 for Jake Woodford. Bader, Woodford, Edman coming up. After 2, it's 1-0. The T-Mobile coverage cam. Cardinals in Milwaukee tonight. Game 2 of their 4-game series, and then it's off to Wrigley. With Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes coming to you from our Valley Studios here in St. Louis. Now that would fill you up. Big pretzel like that, come to the ballpark. But you know that will not be enough for her, brother. Mom and dad are going to be, going to get ice cream.
They're going to need some cotton candy.
Popcorn.
A couple of sodas.
Oh, for sure.
And then, get to bed, kids. We got school in the morning.
That's right. They settle in ever so easily.
Zero attitude in the morning. Kids are the best.
Yeah. Bader looks at a strike, and it's 1-1. Woodruff struck out 2 in the second inning, and he joins Corbin Burns in the 200 strikeout club. So 2 with 200 or more. Only other season the Brewers had 2 was in 2011. Giovanni Gallardo and Zach Greinke. And Freddie Peralta, by the way, is only 10 shy of 200 this year. They could have 3 guys.
I got a feeling Freddie's going to get there.
That's why this team is so dangerous come postseason play. They can pitch.
Yeah, they've got that 3-headed monster in the rotation. We've spent time talking about the bullpen, and we've seen them throughout the year. Devin Williams, Josh Hader, how good that group is. Hunter Strickland was a really good pickup for them as well.
And the 1-2 pitch to Bader. And a foul ball. You think of the back end of the ball games, and Hader has just been terrific again. Remember, there was a lot of talk that he could be on the move potentially this past offseason. Obviously didn't. And I'm sure the Brewers are thankful for that. Devin Williams was so good a year ago, and again has been very solid this year, the St. Louis native.
His changeup is on the short list of best pitches in baseball.
Yeah. 1-2 and a strikeout of Harrison Bader. So Woodruff now settling in. He struck out 3 of the past 4 he's seen, and it brings in Woodford. 2021 Cardinals yearbook celebrates the anniversaries of the 06 and 11 championship clubs, bringing together more than 30 Cardinals who made that happen. Cardinals.com/yearbook, 314-345-9000. Did Steve Zesch or any of Stan McNeil, any of his crew from the magazine come and find you about 06?
I did get an opportunity to talk with the magazine. I'm looking forward to reading through everybody's, because it is funny how everybody kind of sees it through a different lens. We're all going through the same thing, but everybody has their own experiences going on. So it's really special to be able to do that and kind of just build a story around a couple of championship seasons. They do such a great job there.
There's a 1-1 to Woodford. I can't believe, though, your quote, which I did think was a little self-serving, but the quote was,
I can't wait to hear it.
Tony and Dunk and the rest of the guys wouldn't have gotten there without me. And that was your contribution to that portion of the 06 team in Cardinals magazine, as Woodford singles out to center and a 1-out base hit.
Yeah. May have been misquoted a little bit, but you know what? Confidence is always key. So
yeah,
I probably did say something like that. And while, you know, I did my best to carry that group, Albert, Jimmy, Scott, Carp, a young Waino. Look, I couldn't have done it without them. We all know it.
But really, you said that, again, part of the quote was they would not have gotten there, and we would not have won a championship, and this city would not have celebrated without me.
Here's what I suggest.
It's an amazing quote, though.
I just suggest everybody just go pick up the magazine and read for yourself.
Here's Tommy Edman, and a fastball or off-speed pitch there. In for a strike.
How about Jake Woodford helping himself a little bit there, too? He was standing so far out of that box, he really didn't want too much to do with some of those heaters in, but he got one and able to serve it out there.
And a bouncer right side, base hit, Tommy Edman. Woodford to second. Back-to-back hits. And the Cardinals have something going, and now it brings in Paul Goldschmidt. Runners at first and second. Goldie grounded out his first time up after Tommy Edman had stolen his 26th base and eventually was brought in.
Really a decent pitch right here by Brandon Woodruff. Fastball up in at 96, but Tommy Edman does a really good job of pulling the hands in and just gets the barrel to it.
So 2 on and 1 out. First pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Ooh, 96 right down the middle. He challenged him.
Let's see if he does it again. I would love to see Goldie get another chance at that pitch right there. Opposition been trying to stay away from Paul Goldschmidt as much as possible. Anything middle in, he is hammering, especially since the beginning of June. You mentioned how hot he's been all year. 944 OPS since the beginning of June.
Another fastball, maybe looking for that breaking ball there. Now he's got him guessing a bit. 0-2.
We saw a little bit of that last night, too. A couple of pitches where Goldie was caught in between. But you know the thing about him being the veteran hitter that Paul Goldschmidt is, he can snap right back into things. Maybe he was trying to think ahead. Now he gets into battle zone.
And he got him at 98. 4 strikeouts tonight for Woodruff.
Well, sometimes in a spot, especially if you have a fastball like Brandon Woodruff does, you go good old-fashioned hardball. That's exactly what Goldie got. 3 straight fastballs. And just a tick late on that last one.
Tyler O'Neill with 2 runners on. And that pick by Narvaez. Ball 1. O'Neill, 19 games, 7 home runs, 17 runs batted in the month of September.
Well, don't make a mistake to this guy. Remember, last time against Brandon Woodruff, it was Tyler O'Neill. 3-run bomb in the 5th inning. He got to him.
The 1-0 pitch to O'Neill. Took some off it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think that is a pitch in baseball that is underused. The right-on-right changeup sells it just like the fastball out of the hand of Brandon Woodruff. A speed differential of about 12 miles an hour from his fastball. That's filthy.
The 1-1 pitch to O'Neill with 2 runners on and 2 outs. O'Neill, hits a bullet to the shortstop Adames, and he comes up with a dandy. Cardinals strand a pair, and it's 1-0. And Brett Anderson tomorrow. We'll come your way at 6 on Bally Sports Midwest, and then Thursday, Adam Wainwright. 1 strikeout shy of 2,000 in his Cardinals career, and that will be at 1:10, and that will be a YouTube spectacular. Jake Woodford had a base hit, left stranded. Michaelis last time out, 5 2/3 scoreless innings against San Diego. That wound up being an 8-2 win, and his first win since 2019. The 5 2/3, that was a season high for Miles, and he pitched well.
Yeah, he pitched really well, and I think that Miles even was a little surprised when he was doing his post-game presser, the Zoom, and he was that number that you just brought up, the first win since September. He goes, for real? Been that long? He was excited. He was excited to just go out there and help his team, and as much as you never want to be injured, and look, Miles has been hurt the better part of the last 2 years. Might be fresh coming down the stretch, get enough reps in. He looked a lot better last time, looked sharper out against the Padres.
Sure did. Tyrone Taylor looks at a fastball and a strike. Reinstated from the 10-day injured list. Brewers option Miguel Sanchez to AAA Nashville. He had a right shoulder strain, did Taylor, and now his 4th stint with the team. They think he's very athletic. They think he's a good player.
Well, that's why you get so many chances, right? But as we were talking about before with the roster shuffles, you just never know exactly how you're going to stick, how long it's going to be, what the needs are.
2 balls and 1 strike. Ideally for the Brewers, you're talking about Avisail Garcia in the outfield, Yelich and Kane, maybe Jackie Bradley Jr. being used as a defensive replacement if need be. But emerging out of this group is Tyrone Taylor, so they're very pleased to have him back.
Well, as the Cardinals very well know, sometimes guys just kind of come out of nowhere for you and end up being contributors, and that's what Taylor's trying to do.
A little bit of a shift on the infield, outfield just about straight away, and a strikeout for Jake Woodford. So Jake has struck out 4 of the last 5 that he's faced.
Hey, and a couple of the strikeouts, Dan, have been on sliders up above the zone, and they're not necessarily great pitches, but what they are is just a different pitch that is near the strike zone, and it ends up being effective. See the spin out of the hands, it just stays up. That's a hard pitch to handle. And once that front side starts going for Taylor, it's very difficult to lay off of.
And a strike to Brandon Woodruff, hitting .083. The 0-1 pitch. The 1-1. Woodruff a base hit the other way. So both pitchers with base hits in this game.
Turnaround is fair game, I guess. This is a good piece of hitting by Brandon Woodruff. Goes the other way with it. Fastball away, knows he's going to stay out there and just sticks the bat out.
So 1 out single, second time through a lineup, and the Cardinals have been quick with this. With Jake Woodford, and the opposition hits .343 against him second time through. But, you know, basically with the expanded rosters and the way the bullpen has been, and it's 4, maybe 5 innings, and he's out of there.
Yeah, you're able to do that, too, because you have other guys that are eating up innings for you. Lester is getting deeper into games, as is Happ. We know Waino has been doing that. So you can afford to have a guy that gives you the 4 or 5 innings. And to your point, again, it was 4 innings the last 2 times out for Woodford against the Dodgers and the Mets. By the way, both team wins for the Cardinals. So it's been effective. I do wonder in his game too, Dan, what that bridge looks like. If it is 4 innings, maybe do we see Reyes for a couple?
Pitched 2 innings on Sunday as Wong, frustrated, drops the bat, popped up right side. Edman calling for it, has it, and that's 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Golden Wong 0 for 2. Willy Adames walked his first time up.
Willy Adames hits the fastball well, struggles against the non-fastball, and I think that's kind of what led to the walk in his first at-bat, was a couple of sliders that ended up missing for Jake Woodford. We'll see if he's got his sights set in on it now.
2 outs, runner at first. Adames takes a pitch high. It's game number 150 tonight for St. Louis, and thanks to 9 straight wins, Cardinals are 1 game shy of guaranteeing a .500 season at least. And the amazing part of that, it'll be the 21st season in the last 22 the club was .500 or better. The only time they weren't was in 07. It's an amazing run.
Yeah, a lot of winning baseball.
And Adames hits a fly ball into shallow right. Dylan Carlson is there. Jake Woodford through 3. Coming up, Arenado, Carlson, Molina. 1-0. Sail the Caribbean January 23rd through the 29th. Cardinals Hall of Famers are part of it. Ray Lankford and John Tudor Also alumni Danny Cox and Brian Jordan. Space limited. The Cardinals cruise. Cardinals.com/cruise today. Cardinal fans in Milwaukee. Right now in Cincinnati, they're in the bottom of the 6th. And the Pirates have a 3-2 lead. The bottom of the 4th, the Orioles leading the Phillies 1-0. And later tonight, Giants at San Diego, where the Padres just dropped 8 of 10 in their recent road trip. They began that trip 1 game up in the wild card, and now they return home tonight 4 games out.
Yeah, I know that ball club, the Padres, they have had a lot of injuries from a pitching standpoint. It still is head scratching though. I mean, they've got such a good ball club. Things have kind of just fallen off for them at the wrong time. Still very dangerous down the stretch though.
It'll be Arenado, Carlson, and Molina for St. Louis. Last night, Arenado with home run number 33. And with that, he drove in 100 and 101 on the year. Third Cardinals player in the last 50 years to have a 30-100 campaign in his first season with the club. Jim Edmonds did it in 2000. And Albert Pujols did it 2001.
I'd say it's a warm welcome.
Absolutely. Top of the 4th, 1-0 Cardinals. Arenado gets underneath it, and a fly ball into left. Peterson over, and the catch is made for the first out. Nolan is 0 for 2, and it brings in Dylan Carlson. Also, you got to be looking to an extent at what the Braves are doing right now too. So the Braves are at Arizona later tonight. It'll be a bullpen game for them. Jesse Chavez starts against former Cardinal Luke Weaver. Adam Duvall last night for the Braves hit one 483 feet.
I've never seen a ball land there at that ballpark.
That was unbelievable how far he hit that ball. 1 out, nobody on. Carlson looks at a fastball and a strike. So you were saying earlier how baseball is kind of funny, like Jace Peterson DFA'd and then brought back. Duvall was non-tendered by Atlanta, signed by Miami, and then the Braves trade for him and bring him back. And all he's done is that he has 37 home runs, which is second to Fernando Tatis Jr., and he's first in runs batted in at 107. They non-tendered him and then traded for him.
You just never know. You never know in this game, right? But they knew they needed to bring him back. Something was missing for this ball club, and the Braves have had their fair share of injuries throughout the year. I mean, Ronald Acuna Jr., you end up losing that guy, arguably the best player in the game. That hurts, but they picked up the right guy again.
He's got an option for $7 million. I'm assuming they would pick that up as Carlson lines it into the screen. Foul. Evens it up at 2-2. Dylan, first time up, struck out swinging.
I'm sure you were in the same boat initially when he did get designated for assignment. Adam Duvall, I was surprised when it happened.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had a decent year with them.
And we've seen him up close. He's a good hitter. Good power, obviously.
Well, you've seen it over the years. Guys like Justin Turner, Max Muncy, not just to name a couple of Dodgers, but the Dodgers have done a good job at identifying some of these pieces that maybe just weren't to their upper limits yet where they were before. And those individuals did a lot of hard work to get where they are, but right place, right time.
Count of 2-2 on Dylan Carlson. American League wild card, the Red Sox game and a half in front of the Blue Jays. The Yankees, a lot of pressure on them with that huge payroll, big names. They're a half game out. A's 2 back. Mariners are 3 out. And the 3-2 pitch. Carlson to Colton Wong. Gets it on a hop, and there's 2 away. Rangers are at the Yankees tonight. New York has dropped 15 of their last 23. The Mets can play spoiler. They're at Fenway Park, and Boston beginning a 5-game stretch against New York teams. Red Sox have won 5 in a row. The Blue Jays are at Tampa Bay. The Rays can clinch tonight. They need to win. The A's and Yankees have to lose. Strike 1 on Yadier Molina. White Sox also could clinch tonight with a win over the Tigers, and the Indians would have to lose to Kansas City.
How about Tony La Russa's squad, huh? That's a talented club.
Absolutely.
As far as the Rays go, it continues to amaze me how they do what they do. Because I guarantee you, most of our fans watching this game right now, and you watch the Cardinals and you're dug in, and it's a big investment watching this club all the time. So, look, you're probably not watching everything. You probably can't name 3 Rays. Yet they keep getting it done.
Here's a 1-1. That one caught the umpire. Tampa Bay, by the way, resilient bunch too. Obviously, with a lot of turnover on their roster. Now they have one of the best young players in the game in Wander Franco, but they won last night. And Brad, that was their 45th come from behind win, most in all of baseball.
That's a lot. It is. It's a ton. And you said the word resilient. They don't give in. And Wander Franco, he is very, very talented. Currently, he's banged up right now, but he is going to be one of the better players in the game. There's a reason they could trade Willy Adames. They had that guy sitting there. They got another shortstop prospect too. I mean, they're a deep farm system. They draft well, they develop well, but the problem is they can never retain their stars. I think it's very hard to win like that.
Molina struck out first time up. Just 3 for 16 head-to-head against Brandon Woodruff. The 1-2. 2-2 the count. Yadi chatting there with Omar Narvaez. Yadi knows those numbers, and he knows that they're trying to elevate on one pitch, something different the next. The cat and mouse game.
You just say, hey, do me a solid. Just one middle would be nice.
The 2-2. That's pulled foul.
It is fun, and it's probably not as much fun for Yadier Molina, who gets to face Brandon Woodruff, who has got as good a stuff as there is in the game of baseball. But we see Yadi get pitched to as if he is Goldie or Arenado. Like, there is so much respect for what he does at the plate. He very rarely just says, oh, here's fastball. Let's see if Yadi can hit it, because Yadi can hit it.
Yeah. 2-2. And he breaks his bat, and just shy of that great effort and catch, Luis Urias. And a broken bat for Yadier Molina. Pitch count. Next pitch will be 70 for Woodruff.
That's pretty close right there. That's a really good effort. You love seeing that as a pitcher. Your guy laying out for you as a manager. You appreciate that.
It's another 2-2 pitch to Yadi. And Molina jammed again and popped it foul. Checks his bat.
Yadi saying, I only brought so many of these on the road, so if you could just get out of my kitchen for a second, that would be great. Woodruff's got that exploding fastball. And then you throw a couple of those inside, and then you got to look out for the breaking stuff away.
And he got him. 5 strikeouts for Brandon Woodruff. Woodford back to the mound when we come back. Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. Game number 2 of this 4-game series, bottom of the 4th, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Well, going back to his previous start, what's happening here tonight? Currently riding a career high 6 innings of scoreless baseball is Jake Woodford.
Yeah, I think that Jake is doing a good job of making pitches when he really needs to. The slider has been a little bit more effective here. At the very least, it's just taking away, the being able to sit on his fastball.
He's allowed just 1 base hit. His counterpart, Brandon Woodruff, base hit to left, and he has 1 walk. Escobar 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts head to head against the Cardinal right-hander. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. So it's Escobar, Garcia, Narvaez. Escobar on a 2-0 pitch with a fly ball into left. O'Neill racing for it, and he'll make the catch. And that's his play all the way. While we have a moment, quick word from Victory Men's Health.
You gave me my youth back.
Improved strength, muscle mass, and energy.
Thanks to Victory Men's Health, there are more guys feeling better than ever. Join the movement. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
Avisel Garcia struck out his first time up.
Dan, that was a really big pitch that Jake Woodford made. 2-0 to get Eduardo Escobar. That was a changeup. Went to it again. There was 3 of them in a row. Threw this one for a strike. Just got the weak pop-up. I love seeing that.
And Garcia on the first pitch. Fly ball into right. Dylan Carlson over near the line. Makes the catch. Dylan Carlson holds on up against the sidewall. The BJC Healthcare difference maker and the catch by Dylan Carlson.
Level of difficulty high. This thing is slicing towards the stands. He's got to avert his gaze for a second to look up, see exactly how much room he has, but then fearlessly goes into the wall. Man, this team has been flashing the leather. I mean, that has been the constant. As you look for where was the offense early, the pitching had its struggles. That part of the game has been there the entire year.
We saw earlier tonight catch in the corner by Tyler O'Neill, and that one from Dylan Carlson. Narvaez at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. By the way, the next homestand, we wrap it up, the final regular season homestand. Cubs will be in town. $10 tickets available. $5 tickets against the Brewers, and the best part, $1 from each ticket purchase donated to Big League Impact. And a fly ball out to left, and there's Tyler O'Neill. 6-pitch inning. Let's pack the house next week. Cardinals.com/Wainwright. October 3rd, Cardinals and Cubs, and that day we will honor the career of Mike Shannon. 20,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a unique t-shirt celebrating Mike's 50 years in the broadcast booth, courtesy of Phillips 66. Tickets or more info, visit Cardinals.com/promotions. I'd love to see a sellout that day, the final day of our regular season, and great way to say thank you to Mike Shannon.
Mike Shannon is, anytime I get an opportunity, I know that you and Mike have a great relationship and you've spent plenty of time with him. I feel like I learn something every time I'm around Mike Shannon.
Absolutely.
I find myself laughing like crazy, an incredible storyteller. And
well, then you actually learn something about baseball.
That's
you
true.
learn everything else about life.
That is true. He's just been, a narrator for Cardinals history for so long. So excited to see what that turnout looks like.
There's Sosa, was part of those great teams in the 60s, and a St. Louis native, product of CBC High School, tremendous athlete, and 50 years in the booth. 1-1 pitch. After working with you and Ank and Al and Jimmy, I'm not sure how someone possibly could make it 50 years in a booth. But Mike did.
Well, your partners tend to keep you young. It happens.
It does. You guys are great. The 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6. As he gets Sosa, who is 0 for 2.
Well, just like we've seen Jake Woodford settle in, a little bit of the same here for Brandon Woodruff. He's doing a really nice job of tying up hitters on the inner half, specifically the right-handers. This one 95 into Sosa. You go back and look at this ball game. You look how you scored against him in the first inning. It was a leadoff walk, a stolen base, a ground ball by Goldie to get him over, and a sac fly. I mean, nothing has been hit hard against Brandon Woodruff.
You know, Brad, we brought up the point about Jake Woodford, maybe a third time through. Well, there's no one up and throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. His spot is due up after Bader. Woodford had 25 pitches in the first inning, and the next 3 he's had a total of 34. So he's settled in.
He is for sure in that last inning, in the 4th specifically, 6-pitch inning. But to me, what makes me the most excited about what he's doing in this ball game is he got 3 outs in that inning, all on off-speed pitches. He got Escobar on the changeup. He got Garcia on a slider. He got Omar Narvaez on the curveball. So starting to throw these pitches for strikes.
And the 1-1 to Bader. Popped him up behind home plate, and that'll find the seats out of play. Pirates in the bottom of the 7th, leading the Reds 3-2. Orioles bottom of 5, leading the Phillies 1-0. Reds have won 13 consecutive at home against Pittsburgh, and the Pirates trying to snap that as Bader swings and misses. Strikeout number 7. So he has struck out 7 tonight and 3 in a row.
You knew it wasn't going to be easy against Brandon Woodruff. That one right there, just the change up away. We've talked about it a couple times during this ball game, how effective that right-on-right changeup can be. That one almost had a little cutter slider motion as he threw it away from him, but the grip tells you what the pitch was.
Woodford, a base hit to center his first time up. Seeing some of the odd swings that we've had in this game against Woodruff, it gives you an idea. This guy is nasty.
Well, he's uncomfortable and he's not afraid to go inside. Right. So even if you're in a count where you want to sell out for off speed away, you really have to respect in.
Woodford chops it to Colton Wong in an easy 1-2-3 inning. That's 7 in a row for the Brewers right-hander. Midway through 5, 1-0. Presented by authority of the Cardinals and not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. 1-0 St. Louis. Midway through, we check in with Jim.
The hashtag soaring we've seen from the Cards of late seems like it came out of nowhere. Mike Schilt disagrees with that strongly. He told me there's really not a lot of gray area for me about this. We played well for the first 2 months of the season. We had good starting pitching and swung the bats. Then some of the starting pitchers went south and we didn't score as many runs. Now we've stabilized our pitching and the bats have come around and we're playing better. So I feel like we've always had this in us. Danny, whatever is going on with the Cardinals, I sure like watching it.
It's been fun, and you think about the first couple of months prior to the injuries. At one point, they did have the best record going, and then the injuries hit, and everything went south, and just nothing clicked. Then LeBlanc came aboard, Garcia, McFarland, Happ, Lester, and apparently they felt there was a run in this team, and we're seeing it.
Well, that's something we talked about all season long, and specifically this is in regards to the offense. Like you had to be one of these guys looking around the room and say, man, we're better than this. You're looking across, you're Nolan Arenado, you see Goldie sees O'Neill sees Dylan Carlson. I mean, this group was talented, but they ran into some tough times, and even early on was kind of tough to get things going. But they've got it going. They've got it going at the right time. And it's been fun baseball. It's just been a really entertaining brand, and they figure out different ways to win games. We've seen them recently win an 8-7 ball game, a 3-2, maybe a 1-0 tonight. Like, you got to figure out different ways to get it done.
Urias struck out swinging first time up. And the 0-1 by Jake Woodford. Grounded foul, 0-2.
Jake Woodford is getting better as we go. I mean, that was a first pitch slider to Urias, and then he's able to spot the fastball right off of that same pitch. Now he's got him up there guessing.
Nothing into the count. Peterson, Taylor to follow, and a ground ball base hit on an 0-2 pitch that he left up. Just the second hit allowed by Jake Woodford.
The pitch was right. The location, not so much. Went with the slider again. Pops up out of his hand, just leaves it over the middle of the plate. And Urias at this point with 2 strikes, he's just looking to battle, put this thing in play, and he does so into center field.
Jace Peterson. Fly to left first time up. Then we'll see Tyrone Taylor. And a fastball taken high. Peterson 5 for his last 26. The 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been a total of 5 hits in the series for Milwaukee. 3 last night, 2 tonight as we're midway through game 2. Arenado in at third, and a 2-1 pitch by Woodford. 3-1.
Just seeing Jake here from the stretch. Looks like he's trying to speed everything up a little bit. And when you do that, your arm has to catch up, and he's just been a little bit late. Time to slow it down a little bit. Execute a pitch down in the zone.
Pitch number 67 is fouled back. We're stretching now in both bullpens, but no one up and throwing. Still 2 spots away from Brandon Woodruff. And the 3-2 pitch to Peterson. A check on Urias. See if they want to start the runner here. Woodford has struck out 4 so far tonight. Urias not running, and the pitch is fouled back.
You stay right there. Stay right there away from Peterson. locate that pitch down. You're going to get him to fly out. Maybe swing through it. I like the adjustments here by Jake Woodford after missing high a couple of times, staying within himself, staying back, allowing his arm to get up and be able to get that ball at the bottom of the zone.
Arias has an attempt at a stolen base since early July. And a grounder foul. He's got 5 steals on the year.
Pretty good pitch right there, too. 3-2, went with the changeup. Did a really good job of staying on that one. Yadi has navigated so many pitchers through big spots. This is a big spot here for the young Jake Woodford.
And assist Cabrera starts to throw, and he got him. It's a strikeout. And went with the breaking ball. 5 tonight for Woodford.
He's had a couple of punch outs in this ball game with the breaking ball up above the zone. Another one there. Doesn't put it exactly where he wants it, but again, it's the change of speed that gets it done. Peterson saw away. Saw with the fastball, with the changeup. That pitch starts away, starts coming back middle. He's just not able to lay off above the zone.
Tyrone Taylor struck out first time up. Fastball hitting .223 against the right-handers this year. On deck, the pitcher's spot, Brandon Woodruff. The 0-1. 0-2. One ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. 2-2.
Jake Woodford trying to be careful, got ahead, but this is one of those swing pitches you want to make sure you compete with. No free passes here in this spot. 8-hole hitter up. Do have the pitcher on deck. Could force them to make a decision, but I'm getting this guy. Staying down.
2-2 pitch and a fly ball. Left center, catch made by Harrison Bader for out number 2. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
How do you become number 1? By focusing on what really matters. And what really matters to us is you. We're honored to be rated the number 1 bank in America by our customers, according to Forbes.
Woodruff singled back in the third in the first Brewers hit. They have a total of 2 tonight. They've received 1 walk. Woodford has struck out 5. 2 outs, runner at first, and a swing and a miss. And it's just Cabrera just playing a little catch out there at around 88 to 92. They don't get it going at about 98.
Yeah, that's catch, huh?
Yep.
Game's changed.
It has.
Everybody's got the high octane out of the bullpen. But it is fun also still watching guys like, I don't know, TJ McFarland, for example, that doesn't dial up 97, but he gets a ground ball seemingly anytime he wants it. A little room in this game for everybody.
2-1. Pitch count at 78. If he gets Woodruff here, would you imagine that'd be it?
I would, for sure. The longest we've seen him go, he threw 74 pitches in relief against these Brewers on the 4th. But his last couple of starts had been 66, 61 pitches. I think that'd be it for Woodford. Looking to put a nice bow on this one.
The 2-1. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Most he has thrown in a game is 88 pitches. So closing in on that, 8 shy of that. That was at Cincinnati. Love to end it with his 6th strikeout. 1-0 our score, and a runner at first base here in the bottom of 5, and a 2-2 pitch. Jake Woodford. Wong on deck. Urias off with the pitch. And a count of 3-2 on Brandon Woodruff. 6 strikeouts would tie Woodford's career high. 3-2 pitch. Spoiled.
Well, Brandon Woodruff's not going to make it easy on the young Woodford. That is for sure. He's up there with an approach. I know the overall numbers at the plate aren't great, but he looks very hitterish. And as you mentioned, has one of the 2 knocks from this club. I'm still sticking with the fastball. You're beating me there.
Pitch number 83. And we'll do it again. Woodford trying to end the inning against Woodruff. And again, a 3-2 pitch by Jake Woodford. Lined into center, but there is Bader. We have played 5 in game 2 of this series. The top of the lineup coming up: Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, and Tyler O'Neill. StubHub, proud to be an official partner of the Cardinals this year. And if your plans change, you can easily list your tickets with StubHub. Use the free seller toolkit. Help manage the price of your tickets. StubHub. Sell your tickets in just a few taps without any stress. And download the StubHub app today. Well, Brad Thompson, what about Brandon Woodruff here tonight?
Well, he's been as advertised. I know the numbers here recently has shown he's human, but the Cardinals able to scrape one out in the first inning. That was about it. He's tying up right-handers on the inner half. He's mixing in his breaking stuff. He's elevating when he needs to, and he has made life tough for these Cardinals hitters, but they're clinging to a lead, and credit Jake Woodford for matching Brandon Woodruff to this point. I mean, basically inning for inning. Didn't give up anything, but the 7 punch-outs so far for Woodruff. He's been tough, but remember, last time the Cardinals faced Brandon Woodruff, they were able to get to him late. It was 5 runs they scored off him in the 5th inning. Maybe they got a little magic here. They can get a little more off of Brandon Woodruff.
It'll be the top of the St. Louis lineup: Tommy Edman, Paul Goldschmidt, and Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals, if you're just joining us, scored in the first inning, and that's the only run in this game. It was a long at bat to start the game with Tommy Edman. He drew a walk stole his 26th base. So at second with nobody out, Paul Goldschmidt grounded out to second. Edman advanced to third. Tyler O'Neill with a sac fly to center. His 67th run batted in, and that has been the scoring tonight. Edman on base twice with that walk, and also a single to right. Cardinals with 2 hits. The Brewers with 2 hits. Alex Reyes now throwing for St. Louis, and the first pitch to Tommy Edman is a strike on the outside portion of the plate. Well, talking there with Mike Maddox, you get the feeling that his night is certainly through.
Well, it was a pretty impressive night there for Jake Woodford. I mean, he went out there and again battled Brandon Woodruff, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and he is on top right now. No runs through 5. I thought that he was solid, and I really thought that Jake Woodford got better as the game went on. Got better feel for his off-speed pitches, more and more confidence during that outing. What a great one for him to build off of.
The 1-1. They're heading to the 8th, and the Pirates lead the Reds 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 6th, and the Orioles leading the Phillies 1-0. And remember, they shut out the Phils last night behind John Means. The 1-2 pitch. Could be another frustrating September for the Phils. They've had a bunch here recently, but they have lost 8 of 13, while the Braves have dropped 11 of 19. No one's taken it in the National League East.
No, and that was the division you really thought that was going to look like the West. You thought those guys would be battling it out, but for some of the best records in baseball, good pitch right there, 96 on the corner by Brandon Woodruff. Saw Tommy Edman at that at bat, had a good changeup under the zone. Looked like maybe he thought that was the case out of the hand, but not this time. It was 96. Good hard fastball on the corner.
Boy, this guy's filthy.
He is, and he's spotting up, especially on that arm side, but he is doing enough to the lefties to keep them off of leaning off the plate. He'll get in there enough, keep them honest.
Goldie is 0 for 2, and a breaking ball in for a strike. Boy, he's had him guessing all night.
He has, and it's a good breaking ball right there to start things off. You're geared up for 96, 97. Last at bat, there was 3 of them in a row that he saw. Then he snaps off the breaking ball.
Goldschmidt in the second half hitting .319. One of the top hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break. 13 home runs, and he's driven in 39 since the break. The 1-1 pitch. Buckled his knees a bit with that breaking ball. So Craig Counsell maybe gets one more inning. This inning out of Woodruff, we'll see.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many mistakes with that breaking ball, but that is the pitch that if he leaves that up, he's in trouble. Going to go with the heater away here.
And the 1-2. Got him. 9 strikeouts for Woodruff, and that's now 5 strikeouts of his last 6 that he's seen.
We talk about somebody getting stronger. That's the case here again with Woodruff. Good 4-seam fastball. Look at that rotation, 98 miles an hour, just down in the zone.
And that's turned on foul by Tyler O'Neill. 2 outs. Nobody on. The Reds had the bases loaded, by the way, in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody out. Castellanos popped out. Votto flew out. Farmer struck out, called third strike, and the Reds did not score.
Ooh, wow.
The 0-1 pitch to O'Neill.
You would have to think, though, that Reds ball club got a little confidence back last night. Coming back from 5-0 to be able to win. This one's still not over. kind of fun bouncing around looking at all these scoreboards.
It
isn't
is.
it? And it's even more. It's even more fun for the Cardinals that they know they don't have to do that. They need to just take care of their business.
Struck him out. O'Neill didn't like it. Strikes out the side, and that's 10 for Brandon Woodruff. Midway through 6 in a 1-run game. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by St. Louis Children's and Washington University Physicians, doing what's right for kids. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Both teams with 2 hits. The Cardinals with 1 run. Alex Reyes in. Our Chevy called to the pen. We saw him pitch a couple of innings on Sunday, and Mike Schilt, Mike Maddox, they've been using him in high leverage situations at times, middle of the game. So you could look at it that not only is it for the now to keep you close or keep a lead, keep it tied, but tight games, but also building up some of the innings looking forward to multiple innings.
Think about how big of a weapon that can be when you have somebody with the stuff of Reyes, and we know the resume, the all-star this year in a different role as a closer. But if this guy can bridge some gaps for you and get into that back end of the pen, which, look, he's a part of, just in a different way, that is nice to have.
Colton Wong 0 for 2, top of the lineup for Milwaukee. Adames on deck, and then Escobar. Wong against Reyes, 0 for 1 with a walk. That's taken high. 2 balls and no strikes. It's Dusty Blake, the assistant pitching coach. And that is a ball outside. 3-0. Jake Woodford tonight, 5 scoreless. Last time we saw Reyes on the mound, it was against Vogelbach in a walk-off grand slam. There's a strike. No, it's not. 4 straight, and he walked him. A couple of borderline pitches not going his way. Leadoff walk. How about Jake Woodford tonight?
5 very strong innings from Jake Woodford. Only a couple of hits, both little weak singles. Did a good job of commanding the strike zone, spotted his fastball, got his 5 punch outs, and gave you an opportunity to win this game. I mean, this lineup for the Brewers, they can strike, and it has not happened, did not happen against Jake Woodford, and he is settling in quite well. Ever since that outing against the Brewers in relief, I think that he's grown in his confidence and knowing that he can compete within the strike zone. Nice outing for Jake.
Wong, as we know, always a threat to steal. Adames has walked and also flied to right. Colton 10 for 15 in stolen base attempts this year. And there's a strike. We saw that Colton Wong did steal against the Cardinals earlier this year, and he actually took the bag and had Yachty sign it. 2 good friends.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know that they had a good relationship if Yachty's going to sign that base for Colton Wong.
And the 0-1 is pop foul and out of play.
That was kind of a cool moment, though, and it just showed the respect, obviously, that Colton has for Yachty. He was so happy to be able to steal that bag, and even though that you're wearing different uniforms, and when you're out there, you're competing. I mean, you're giving everything that you've got against the opposition. These friendships last forever.
Base stealers 8 for 9 when Reyes is on the mound, and there it is. 10 steals, 15 attempts for Colton Wong. Nothing in 2, the count on Adames. And a check by Reyes. Oh, 0-2 pitch kept in front by Yachty, and Wong stays put.
What a job by Yadier Molina right there. This ball Bounces way early. Slider. You know that Reyes is trying to make it nasty right there. And Yachty does what he's done thousands of times. Corrals that thing, keeps it in front, keeps the speedy Colton Wong over at first.
One-two pitch, and it swung on and missed. Reyes gets the first out via the strikeout, and a double play would send us to the 7th. Eduardo Escobar, the switch hitter, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Couple of flyouts to left, and he had no chance at that pitch.
No, and all this pitch had to do was just look like a strike for a second. Oh, it looked like a fastball coming out of the hand. The thing tailed off big time. That was a great view of it right there. Adames just sees the ball up, and that was the big difference between the pitch beforehand. Why you didn't get the swing was the starting point.
Brad Boxberger throwing in the bullpen for Milwaukee, a right-hander. Genesis Cabrera continues to get loose for the second time now for St. Louis. One out, runner at first, and Escobar. And the first pitch catches the outside corner against Reyes. He is 0 for 2 in a head-to-head matchup.
Nice changeup right there to start him off. Spotted it right on the corner, 90 miles an hour.
The 0-1. Fastball at 97, painted. Nothing in 2.
Same spot. Same spot as that changeup. Just a little more giddy up on it. And Escobar sitting there saying, okay, now what? Now what do I cover?
Just saw the man in front of him wave at that breaking ball. Missed it by a foot. Does he get that? Does he get a fastball? The changeup. What comes now on 0-2? The next by Reyes, instead a check on Wong.
Well, if Reyes does go with that breaking ball, there's room in. You start it in if you want to. And go with the changeup.
0-2 pitch. Got him to reach, and then that tip got Yachty, and he's all right. Cardinals were able to get to Peralta last night and have a lead of 1-0 against Brandon Woodruff here in game number 2. Kept in front again by Yadier Molina.
Shown him down a couple of times. I think that you could climb the ladder on Escobar also. You could tie him up in. You could go up with the fastball. They're going to try the changeup again.
The 1-2 pitch from Alex Reyes. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Reyes after a leadoff walk to Wong. And it brings in Garcia.
Well, that's a heck of a way to bounce back. It was a 4-pitch walk to Colton Wong. Comes back, gets the 2 punch-outs. And this one here, changeup, starts middle, ends up under the zone. It's a good pitch. It's a good arsenal that Alex Reyes has.
Two outs in the home half of the 6th, and Garcia, the team leader in home runs and runs batted in. Homered last night, and he has been a thorn in the Cardinals side this year. Pop foul out of play, strike 1. That was the 89th strikeout this year for Alex Reyes, second in the National League among relievers, trailing, and he's not far behind Josh Hader, who has 92. The Pirates now have gone up 5-2 in the top of the 8th against Cincinnati.
Reyes going to go in there again against Garcia. Got to make sure you get it in. There you go. That's fine. Opens things up for you. Yeah, that is a lot of punch outs for Alex Reyes this year. You mentioned Hader's 92. Giovanni Gallegos right there in the mix as well with 88 strikeouts. Devin Williams, who you might see in this ball game, has got 86. There's a lot of swing and miss in these bullpens.
And the 1-1 pitch to Garcia. Ground ball foul. And it's 1-2.
It's a great spot. Shatters that bat. Saw Garcia yesterday, got himself a fastball away, loves to get extended on those. Fastball in, very effective, and it can really open up things for a slider away now. If he wants to go down with the slider, Garcia will chase that pitch under the zone. It's got to look like the strike coming out of the hand, though. It's all about your starting point.
Reyes a strike away from sending us to the 7th. And the 1-2 pitch to Garcia. Two and two. What do you go with here?
I'd throw the slider again.
The 2-2. He strikes out the side here in the 6th. A leadoff walk to Wong. Then Adames, Escobar, Garcia. Strikeout victims for Reyes. Brad Boxberger, 7th inning rolls in. The Chevy call to the pen. Game 2, this 4-game series, and the Cardinals with a 1-0 lead. Reyes walked Colton Wong in the bottom of the 6th to lead off the inning, and then strikes out the next 3. Boxberger in relief of Brandon Woodruff, who gave up 1 run on 2 hits and strikes out 10 in his 6 innings of work. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Another good ball game here tonight.
It's a really good ball game. And Dan, while this bullpen of the Brewers, it's no walk in the park. You know what's sitting out there if in fact this lead changes. Or hey, look, you might see Devin Williams could end up seeing Hader in this game at some point either way. You're happy to have Woodruff out of this ball game.
Absolutely.
Get a different look.
Nolan Arenado, Dylan Carlson, Yadier Molina. The first pitch. Take it for a strike on the outside corner. Another one of those additions for this Milwaukee bullpen that has proven to be a good add. Boxberger, former closer, now working in these types of games, tight games, 1-run games in the 7th inning. Change up, 0-2.
A really nice pitch right there by Brad Boxberger. Remember, this team, I mean, to acquire Willy Adames, they sent off 2 really good relievers,
right,
to the Tampa Bay Rays to get that done. JP Fireisen, we saw him early in the year. Boy, was he good. Rasmussen good as well. They had other pieces and other plans.
The 0-2 lifted out to center fielder Tyrone Taylor. So 1 out. Dylan Carlson 0 for 2. The Cardinals with 2 hits tonight, and one of them was by Jake Woodford. Crowd tonight 30,475. 30475.
Picked up a little bit from last night's Monday Night Football.
You got it. One out, nobody on, and a swing and a miss by Carlson. Struck out swinging and grounded out to second. It's 0 for 2 with a strikeout head-to-head matchup against Boxberger. Oh, and 2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th inning, Narvaez, Urias, and Peterson. So 2 out of the 3, at least currently, lefties coming up. Reyes had 18 pitches in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch off the plate, 1 and 2.
Yeah, you would think that for Reyes, with only 1 day off after 2 innings, and I don't want to say he punched out the side, so I don't want to call it laboring, but a lot of high stress pitches in that inning. You'd have to think that he'd be out. Cabrera coming in next inning.
The 1-2 tied him up, and a strikeout. Carlson grimacing with that swing. Yadier Molina coming up, who's ready for discounted Cardinal tickets. Well, you can get them 8 gallons or more of gas at a participating station using the My Phillips 66 app. Get up to 50% off Cardinal tickets. Cardinals.com/Phillips66. Molina 2 for 3 against Boxberger, and he is happy that Woodruff is out of this game. Fastball, strike 1.
Definitely a change of pace, but not a comfortable one so far for Boxberger. That slider he threw Dylan Carlson looked like the heater coming out of his hand and tied him up badly.
One ball and 1 strike. And Yadi picks up a base hit into left center. So got him the first 2 as strikeouts, and now singles into left center.
A little bit of a smirk right there, right? He's able to get something going against Boxberger. It was just a changeup left up a little bit, leaked inside on Yadi. He like pulls his hands in, just gets the barrel to this. Good look at it right there. Just trying to put something in play, make something happen, get something going again.
Molina snaps a string of 13 in a row set down by the Brewers. Edmundo Sosa with 2 outs, and Molina at first base. First pitch to him is taken for a ball. So Molina now 2 hits shy of Rogers Hornsby, 3rd all time the Cardinals hits list. Amazing.
It's exactly what you expected of Yadier Molina when he first came on the scene, isn't it, Dan?
It was unbelievable. I mean, never in my wildest imagination did I think that we'd be talking about the offensive numbers that we're seeing by Yadi.
No, and it's just a testament to him and the work ethic and the time and the effort that he put into it, and all while doing that behind the plate has never lacked one bit.
A ball and a strike on Sosa. Stan the man, 3,630 hits. Then Brock, over 3,000 hits in his career, but over 2,700 with St. Louis. Hornsby, and then Yadi just 2 shy.
I'll just go ahead and say this. Stan's going to be tough to catch.
I would say so.
I'd say that's safe forever.
A count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Sosa. Fastball caught him looking, 2 in the inning, 12 strikeouts for the Brewers in this game. Time to stretch, and it's 1-0.
1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. As you see, Jack Flaherty is with the Cards in Milwaukee and is continuing his rehab program. Mike Schilt says Jack threw off the mound today, took a short break, then threw to hitters briefly. Just 2 at-bats apiece by Lars Nootbaar and Jose Rondon. Schilt told me Jack's stuff looked very good. He said we'll just see how he recovers and figure out his next step after that. Danny, obviously the Cards could use Jack even for limited work, but they want to be very, very careful with him.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. The new pitcher in is Genesis Cabrera. Chevy called to the pen. I wouldn't think Mike Schilt would have double switched with this move, if not maybe a little concern with Carlson on that swing and how he ended his final at bat. He was grimacing as he was kind of tied up on the pitch. Now, in your lineup, it makes a little sense, but Dylan's a very good defensive player. You're up by a run, you're on the road. So it's part of a double switch, and I'm sure we'll find out more after the game if there was any concern, if any at all. But Lars Nootbaar takes over in right, so he'll go into the Cardinals' 9 position. And then you'll have Cabrera in Carlson's position, and it also could be a situation where you're thinking multiple innings for Genesis Cabrera.
Yeah, absolutely could be the case here. So, like you said, I'm sure we'll find out more, but a very capable defender in right with Newt.
And welcome to the ball game, Lorenzo Cain, 98.
Well, I guess he's feeling okay, though, because he came out of his shoes on that first pitch. Lorenzo Cain out of the ball game yesterday. Had run into the wall in center field, making an incredible catch a couple of nights ago.
And the 0-1. Sitting 217 against left-handed pitching and falls behind 0-2. Urias on deck, and then Peterson's spot. The 0-2 pitch by Cabrera. Popped foul and out of play. As a pinch hitter, Lorenzo Cain is 1 for 6 this year. Woodford went 5, 2 hits, no runs. Reyes, 1 inning, a walk, 3 strikeouts. 0-2 the count on Lorenzo Cain. Pirates now leading the Reds 6-2 in their ball game. The 1-2 missed in. The 2-2 pitch to Lorenzo Cain. Held on to by Molina. It's a strikeout, 4 in a row now for the Cardinals. 3 by Reyes in the first in this inning, thanks to Cabrera.
I like that Genesis Cabrera and Yadier Molina stayed with the hard stuff too. 98-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone a little bit. Yadi does a great job of being able to hold on to that one. You go change up there with Cain, I think you're doing him a favor. You're slowing him down. A guy that you know had been banged up the last couple of days, cold off the bench. I like the decision there.
"21 strikeouts combined in this game. 12 in the Cardinal lineup, 9 now in the Milwaukee lineup. It's a total of 5 hits in this game. 3 for St. Louis, 2 for Milwaukee. Urias, first pitch taken just a bit high. He is 1 for 2 tonight with a single to center. The 1 run scored in this game all the way back in the top of the first, and that has been it. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball at 98. Milwaukee still does not have an at bat with a runner in scoring position in the series.
It really is incredible, and it's a testament to the Cardinal pitching really stepping up. Thought that Jake Woodford was solid in this ball game. Bullpen coming in, getting the job done. Yesterday, Lester and the pen were really good. Just executing pitches, letting that defense go to work.
1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2. Last night it was Lester picking up career win number 200. Tonight Jake Woodford matched up against Brandon Woodruff. He went 5, no runs, and now it's up to the bullpen. The 1-2. He got him. 99. Genesis Cabrera.
How about that sequence right there? Dotted the fastball in, change up away, and then this thing. 99 right past him. Go ahead.
Manny Pena will pinch hit for Jace Peterson. While we have a moment, quick word from Ryan Kelly.
The only thing faster than the Supersonic golf cart is the 21-day closing guarantee. Only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Pena is 1 for 2 in that one hit, a home run against Cabrera. First pitch is strike. That's 5 consecutive strikeouts put together by Reyes and now Cabrera. Reyes struck out the side in the 6th. Cabrera's got the first 2 here in the home half of the 7th. The 0-1. Now 0-2.
Cabrera out there not messing around, going right after the opposition. That's what you love to see, especially if you're thinking about extending him. Going at him.
Trying to send us to the 8th. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in. 99 and almost got him on the 0-2 pitch. Pena hitting .217 against lefties this year. 5 home runs.
Well, Cabrera's showing a couple of good change-ups. Wonder after that one up and in, does he go for it down and away?
The 1-2. Popped him up right side, giving chase. Goldschmidt near the screen and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes. Cabrera is next to Manny Pena. Tapped foul. Cardinals will have Bader, Nootbaar, and Edman looking ahead to the top of the 8th. Jake Cousins, a right-hander, throwing for Milwaukee in their pen. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
That changeup just got away from Cabrera. You saw the hand drop a little bit. The arm drops, and that thing never came out straight. Gonna go for it again. We'll see if he makes the adjustment. Stay right on top of this thing. Looking for that downward action.
The 2-2. Doesn't chase. Good pitch.
Yeah,
but
better.
Did not chase.
Better pitch for sure. I know in this spot, though, if I've got 98 to 100 in my back pocket, I'm throwing that thing right here. Throwing a good fastball away. They're going to go in. Tie him up.
3-2 pitch. Cabrera to Manny Pena. And a high fly ball into right center. Calling for it, Bader. Sends us to the 8th. 1 run in this game all the way back in the first. 1-0 as we head to the 8th. Back in the first inning, if you've just joined us, this is how it started. A walk to Tommy Edman. Then a stolen base, his 26th. Goldie moves him over. O'Neill brings him in. So the Nissan drive of the game. Off the bat of Tyler O'Neill, the sac fly, his 67th run batted in. And that has been the scoring tonight.
Innocent enough in the beginning, but it was all the Cardinals have needed to this point, or all they were able to get to this point. The Chevy called to the bullpen. Jake Cousins in for his 29th appearance of the year. And when you have a guy like Brandon Woodruff, who started this ball game, and you know what a day it was for him, punching out 10 in his 6 innings, you know you got to figure out a way to be able to scrape something together. They did that early on. They're going to hope to tack on and be able to hold this thing where it is.
It'll be Bader, Newt Barr, and Tommy Edman. Luis Garcia grabs a baseball and begins to get loose in the St. Louis bullpen. So 16 innings now, partner, in this series, and the Brewers still have not had a runner in scoring position. And it's the little things that you have to do in playoff type games like this, and the Cardinals have done that in the first. Small things, moving a runner over, bring him in.
Yeah, and those are the details that matter, to your point. I mean, in the postseason, these are the type of guys you're going to be facing. Brandon Woodruff, it's going to be Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, who the Cardinals were able to get to early in the ball game yesterday, Nolan Arenado. Got to figure out different ways. A couple of really nice sliders from Cousins. Harrison doesn't like that pitch. Very well located.
Cousins started this year at Double-A. Closer, then went to Triple-A, and then began his major league career with 17 consecutive scoreless appearances. The 0-2. Right-handers hitting 164 against him. The lefties even below that at 125. It'll be Tyrone Taylor, a pinch hitter, and Colton Wong looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, strikeout of Bader. 13 strikeouts in the St. Louis lineup tonight. Bader has struck out for the 3rd time.
A pretty couple of tough calls against Harrison Bader. The slider down the way. This one fastball looks like it catches the corner here, maybe a little bit off. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson, he likes it. Pitcher's pitch, certainly.
Ball 1 to Newpar. 0 for his last 20. Two balls and no strikes, so he takes over in right for Carlson. And again, I guess the concern would be, did he do something on the check swing?
Yeah.
Speaking of a Dylan Carlson.
Yeah, you hope not. If in fact he did, it was a little something. I'm sure that we'll hear about that after the ball game. Until then, though, this spot 2-0. I want to see Newt let it fly.
The 2-0. 3-0. What about on 3-0? You all right with that too?
No, I'd like him to just kind of get one here, maybe. 2-0. You get something in your zone. You need to get yourself a runner here.
Let it rip. Like I said, take that for a strike and then work it back.
Oh, Dan, you were all over that from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly agreed with you. Now you let it fly.
So Garcia continues to throw in a 3-1 pitch to Newbar. And he draws a walk. So 1-out walk. Cardinals have received 2 tonight. The other was the leadoff man, Tommy Edman, and he wound up scoring the only run thus far in this game. Edman walked, stole a base, his 26th, scored in the first, singled to right in the third, and struck out looking in the 6th. The first pitch to the Cardinal leadoff man. Check on Newbar. Has 1 career stolen base in the big leagues. Edman looks at a strike on the outside corner. Base stealers 6 for 7 when Cousins is on the mound. That was 1-5 to the plate. Again, that magic number, if you will, either below or above 1-3. If it's above, you might go.
Yeah, you think about it, right? You start extending that lead a little bit. You get a jump, especially if Cousins has any tendencies, the 1 or 2 looker.
Newbar is running, and that'll be a stolen base. His second in the bigs. Those aren't boos. That's Cardinal fans with Newt Bar.
How cool is that?
Love it.
How cool is that? Newt takes off just as we were talking. Slow to the plate is Cousins. He gets a really nice jump, and it was speed in the first inning that set things up after a Tommy Edman walk, and it's speed here after a walk of Newt Bar that puts him in scoring position.
A count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Tommy Edman. Edman hits it the other way. That's a base hit. Here comes Newbar. Edman to second. He'll stop. Wide turnaround first. Back in safely. 2-0 St. Louis.
How about that? Newbar comes into the game. He draws a walk. He steals a bag. And then Tommy Edman does his thing here. It's a sinker. 95 miles an hour. It's down. It's away. He goes down and gets it. Might have even broken his bat on this one. Catches it right off the edge. But as soon as he hits that, you know Newt is scoring no problem. A little bit of insurance right here late.
Made that big turn around the bag at first, about a third of the way to second, full speed, and then stopped. And so he's at first base. You got Paul Goldschmidt. And hey, you've been running, you've been having some success. Why not on the first pitch? If you're Tommy Edman, take off. I mean, we're talking about Cousins. He's not at 1-3. He's been around 1-5. One time it was 1-6. And keep applying the pressure.
Yeah, I would definitely think that there might be a check or two on Cousins' behalf on Edman. Try to keep him as close as possible. But now the wheels are turning right now if you're Cousins, because you're thinking, okay, well, he might steal a bag. I'm going to check on him a couple times. I better be quick to the plate. Well, all of a sudden you're thinking about, I'm going to be quick to the plate. That's when you make a mistake to one of the most dangerous hitters in the National League.
Goldie is 0 for 3, grounded out to second, struck out twice. First pitch to him. Inside for ball one. O'Neill on deck. Cardinals have added their second run in the game here in this inning. The first came all the way back in the first inning. Manny Pena 10 for 35 and throwing out base stealers this year. Edman started towards second, stopped, 2 balls and no strikes. On the bench, you got Vogelback, Yelich, and Jackie Bradley Jr. from the left side, Reyes from the right side. Would that entice you to keep Genesis Cabrera in the game?
It very well could. Look, I like the way that Genesis threw the ball also. He's about as fresh as you have. Garcia's throwing the ball a lot. But you also trust him against both right and left with the stuff that he has. And that's the beauty of it right now for Mike Schilt when he's looking at the bullpen. You got options that have good reverse splits. They can do a little bit of everything for you, mixing and matching. It's not just a couple of guys getting it done for you.
2 balls and a strike on Goldie. Runner goes, Edman to second, and an easy stolen base, his second in this game. The Cardinals with Edman in the first. He walked, stole a base, moved over, brought in. This inning, a walk, stolen base, base hit, Tommy Edman. It made it 2-0. Great jump.
It's a huge jump, and I honestly cannot believe that Jake Cousins didn't pick over there one time with Tommy Edman there. Talking about it right off the bat. You already saw him seal a bag in the first inning. You know how fast he is. Good job by Tommy.
And the 3-1 lifted into center. Kane coming in. He'll make the catch. That's 8 straight steals without being caught for Tommy Edman. And he now has 27, so just 3 back of Trey Turner for the league lead. And some good news out of the Queen City. Pittsburgh posts a victory over the Reds 6-2. So if the Cardinals can hold on, Cincinnati would be 4 games back and the Cardinals would have 12 games to go.
I know this season at times has felt like it's lasting forever. Isn't it crazy to believe that this is the last road trip of the season?
It is. 2 outs, runner at second, and a pitch taken high by Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill, sac fly, RBI number 67, grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out looking back in the 6th. Edman, your runner at second base with 2 down. The 1-0. O'Neill breaks his bat on a hop, hit to short. Cardinals pick up a run. Nootbaar the walk, a stolen base. Tommy Edman brings him in midway through 8. 2-0 St. Louis.
With you in our Ballpark Village studios. Coming up after the game, it's Cardinals Live. The Mad Hungarian Al Rabowski and Rick Ankiel will join us. We'll talk about the terrific start for Jake Woodford and the running Redbirds tonight. It's all coming up after the game with Cardinals Live as we send it back to Danny and BT.
All right, Scotty, thank you. Luis Garcia is in. 19 pitches total in his last 2 games. Inning and a third, couple of hits. It's a 3rd consecutive day that he has appeared in a ball game for St. Louis. Our Chevy called to the pen. And pinch hitting for Taylor, it is Yelich. And the first pitch. Hit the other way. O'Neill is there for the out. A line out off the bat of Christian Yelich in the first down here in the home half of the 8th.
It's the hardest hit ball the entire day right there, Dana, right at Tyler O'Neill.
Well, you knew these lefties were coming up, and here we go. It'll be Vogelback pinch hitting. And then you've got Juan. And that's why I was wondering, would you stick with Genesis Cabrera for the lefty-lefty matchup? But they go with Garcia. And as you mentioned, the splits have been good for both guys.
His sinker plays against everybody. He's got the changeup also that can help neutralize some of these lefties. Key just keeping the ball down.
First pitch to Vogelbach is a strike. One of the toughest losses of the year was Daniel Vogelbach at the plate, and a pinch hit walk-off grand slam. The Brewers are saying that's their win of the year, and certainly one of the toughest for the Cardinals, undoubtedly.
Well, it is one, though. It's amazing because this moment, this pitch from Reyes, center cut, walk-off grand slam, and what a great moment it was. If you like the Brewers, chances are you're listening to a different broadcast. But that moment felt like a low point for the Cardinals. Now look what they've done to come back. This team is so resilient.
Vogelbach pops it foul and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals with 4 hits tonight. The Brewers with 2, and a total of 5 in the series so far in the first 2 games. One ball and 2 strikes. Missed in at 99. 2-2. Colton Wong on deck.
Not a bad idea, though, to go in there. Keep him off something away. Whether Garcia wants to go with the changeup away, wants to go with the heater, showing inside. Not a bad idea.
The 2-2. Left on the bench now for Milwaukee would be Reyes and Jackie Bradley Jr. 3-2 the count on Daniel Vogelbach. Time called. The 3-2. First walk issued by Garcia. Brewers have received 3 walks in this ball game. And our old buddy Colton Wong representing the tying run here in the home half of the 8th. He has walked tonight. That was against Alex Reyes to start the 6th, and then Reyes struck out the side. He has popped out to 3rd, popped out to 2nd. Wong is 1 for 5 in the head-to-head matchups with Garcia. Fastball taken high. With a righty and a lefty on the bench and down by 2, no pinch runner here for Daniel Vogelbach. Just in case you need position players late. And you're down by 2.
Well, you know that Garcia, while Wong is tough to double up, he can get a lot of ground balls to that sinker at the bottom of the zone.
Good fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch, and Wong sends a fly ball into deep right center, and it's off the wall. Bader quickly back into the infield, and the Brewers have their first runner to get to second base. Wong almost tied it
Colton ended up getting extended here on a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. To your point a second ago with Daniel Vogelback, no pinch runner there. He's still at third base. It's a good job by Colton on a tough pitch. Looking down there, gets it. He might have thought he got it out of the ballpark. Stand-up double either way.
He thought he may have hit it out. And instead, it's runners at second and third. And a guy that they've been counting on all season long with the Milwaukee Brewers once he was acquired is coming to the plate in Willie Adames, who has walked, flied out to right, and struck out back in the sixth. Late season drama. And we have it now.
Hey, this stuff is fun. This is why you play this long, to be in games like this that matter so much. And look, Luis Garcia been very solid, been ridden hard here recently, looking to make another pitch, get out of this. As the Cardinals got a couple of guys going in the bullpen. Cody Whitley,
Justin Miller, Whitley, and Hader going for the Brewers. They also have Brent Suter standing there. Jackie Bradley Jr. will pinch run now.
Why?
I agree.
Guess you're looking for something here. If Garcia tries to get nasty, it ends up kicking off. You can score on something like that.
Still
but
down
still
by
not
a run,
yeah,
though.
exactly. Still not the run that matters.
But then you get Wong to advance, maybe. I mean, that's part of the thought process, I would guess. But here we go. Runners at second and third with one out. Adames taps it foul. The opposition with runners in scoring position against Garcia, just 3 for 22, and that's a 136 average. With the speed of Wong, a base hit certainly could tie it. The 0-1. Nothing in 2.
I'll have another one of those, please. That's a really nice tight slider. Starts over the middle, ends up on the corner.
The 0-2 pitch. Garcia to Adames. Kept in front by Molina. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. The next by Garcia. The fly ball into left. Bradley should be able to score. He'll tag up from third. Throw goes into third. Keeps Wong at second. Cuts a lead to 2-1.
Cardinals in that spot. I mean, you're just looking for the out. Certainly you'd love to get the punch out there, be able to bury him, leave Jackie Bradley Jr. there over at third. But in that same situation, your infield was playing back. You're conceding that run. You're just trying to get outs, get yourself to that 9th inning.
Eduardo Escobar 0 for 3 tonight. Twice he has flied out to left. First time a very good play in the corner and left by Tyler O'Neill. He's also struck out. 2 outs, runner at second, 1-run game. I think Yachty was crossed up.
Yeah, he's saying, hey, check the list. Let's get on the same page right here, because it looked like Yachty was expecting a changeup and got 98.
Shift on the right side, and that's taken with a changeup outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Avisail Garcia is on deck. Room on the left side of the infield. Arenado playing back. Outfield shading just a bit to left center. And Colton Wong represents the tying run. Yachty has to adjust his equipment. Or more so, it's working on his left knee. That's Chris Conroy of the Cardinals medical team.
I never really saw like one movement or anything or something that hit off him that he saw any reaction from Yachty, which is not shocking because incredibly stoic anyhow. He's saying he's good to go.
The Orioles, by the way, have taken a lead in the 10th, 2-1 against the Phillies. And a 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Two balls, one strike. The next two, Escobar from Garcia. 98, 2-2.
It was a great 2-0 slider to be able to get back in. Then the fastball away.
What's he got here then?
But look, he's got some options here. I would stick with the heater away for me. I think you were trying to steal a strike with that breaking ball. Got to make sure they're on the same page here, changing the signs yet again. Got to be very careful with the runner on second base.
The 2-2 by Garcia. He got him! A strikeout for Garcia. Wong left stranded at second as the tying run in this game. Game 2. And it's 2-1 St. Louis. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Brandon Woodruff, a look at his 10 strikeouts tonight. And Woodruff gave way to the bullpen of the Brewers. And Jake Woodford matched Woodruff. Woodford 5 innings tonight, 2 hits, 1 walk. Struck out 5, and once he got through that first inning, he settled in.
He really did, and he got better feel for his off-speed pitches, was able to utilize those, spotted up his fastball a lot better, was just confident out there. Love seeing only 1 free pass in this ball game.
Here's Suter against Nolan Arenado. The lefty is in. Rondon is moved to the on-deck circle. He would hit for Garcia. Suter last night an inning. Faced 4 batters, 13 pitches. I do wonder about the knee of Yadier Molina, and if that came at an opportune time to give Garcia maybe a little breather.
It could very well have happened. Smart guy, right?
As Nolan pops it up on the infield. But once he got back behind the plate, Garcia locked back in, and as you mentioned, the key pitch there was the 2-0 slider.
It was a really good pitch, and you're right. Maybe the time gave him a little bit to just collect himself, be able to take a breath, make some pitches. What a huge strikeout that was.
It'll be Garcia, Kane, and Urias looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth. The Cardinals trying to make it 10 wins in a row, something they have not done since all the way back in the 2001 season. The last time it happened, they had 2 streaks, winning streaks of 10 games. Rondon, the pinch hitter, and takes a pitch low.
I know that 20 years ago, you hear that and say, oh, it's amazing it's been so long. I don't think you realize how hard it is to win games at this level and being able to string them together. Because even teams that aren't great, and that's, to me, that's the amazing part, is that the Cardinals are doing this right now against teams that are battling in the wild card.
Season's on the line.
Yes, this isn't against any bottom feeders around the league, but to the point of how hard it is to win in this league, the teams that have bad records will knock you off. Like, you're going to have a bad day. Your starter's going to have a bad day. A bullpen's going to have a rough one here and there. But the Cardinals have just done such a good job and figuring out how to win ball games like this. And you've had bigger ones where you score a bunch of runs. It's been a lot of fun. It's a fun brand of baseball right now for this team.
2-2 the count. Giovanni Gallegos getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen. The 2-2. Rondon rips it. That's down into the left field corner. Cut off by Yelich. Rondon to second base. And that is a 1-out double here in the top of the ninth. Off the bench for Rondon.
Go ahead, Jose Rondon. Nice double right there. Was Newt. Ended up coming off the bench in a double switch. He got a walk. Stole a base. Ended up scoring and goes down and gets this one. Fires it down the line. Keep on adding.
Yadier Molina came through late in game 1. Tonight he is 1 for 3. Runner at second, Rondon. The first pitch to Yadier Molina. And Molina sends a fly ball into center, backing up Kane. Rondon will tag up from second to third. So Baltimore leading the Phillies in extra innings 2-1. All the highlights coming up on the post-game show. And the Phillies currently 4.5 games back of St. Louis. Here's Edmundo Sosa. He's flied to center and struck out twice, over 3 tonight. Rondon, the runner at third, 2 away here in the top of the ninth. And ball 1. Cardinals looking for late insurance. The 1-0 pitch. Sosa hits it sharply to third and staying with it. Urias. It stays a 1-run game. Bottom of the ninth, and the Cardinals trying to make it 10 straight. Cardinals trying to finish off game 2 of this all-important series. Tommy Edman has had a big hand in it. Back in the 8th inning, Edman goes the other way, and that's our Budweiser play of the game. That would score Lars Nootbaar, who's part of a double switch, had walked, stole a base, and came around to score.
That was a tough pitch. I mean, that was a sinker. It was 95. It was down. It was away, and it ends up being the run that has them ahead by 1 as Giovanni Gallegos, the Chevy, called to the bullpen. Coming off 1 day of rest, had back-to-back saves. Talk about somebody who's been very, very solid.
Last 7 games, 6 saves and 7 opportunities. A 1.35 ERA, and the opponent's hitting just .095 against him. And as baseball, as it always seems to happen in the 9th inning, you get 4, 5, and 6. Garcia, Kane, Urias.
Gonna have to earn it. That's been the case throughout this ball game. It's always felt like that one pitch either way. Unfortunately, the Cardinals have been on top when it comes to the bounces and just making something happen, forcing it on the base paths, and the bullpen has stepped up for them big time.
The team leader in home runs with 28. A 2-1 game here in the bottom of the ninth. Lined and a base hit off the end of the bat, and a single into right for Garcia. The tying run is aboard, and the winning run will come to the plate.
Those ones right there are frustrating at times because Gio makes a good pitch. It's a decent slider. It's away. But he does a really nice job of sticking with it. Shift. Tommy Edman shifted up the middle. Just serves it through a wide open right side. Nothing a little ground ball can't fix.
Lorenzo Cain. Pinch hit back in the 7th and struck out, then stayed in the game. First pitch to Cain. Off the plate and ball 1. The 1-0. And Cain pops it back in foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals had a 2-0 lead. Brewers picked up their first run in the ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals have out hit the Brewers 5-4, and they lead it 2-1. The 1-1 pitch. Hader just standing on the mound if we get to extra innings. That standing closer of the Brewers. 2 balls, 1 strike on Lorenzo Cain. Two and 2.
See the face there on Lorenzo Cain. He just couldn't pull the trigger on that pitch. Really nice breaking ball. Starts in off the plate. Drops it in there.
The 2-2. Chased the ball, tied him up, fouled it back, and we'll do it again.
Well, when you're going in on Lorenzo Cain, up is the place to go. Down and in is where his real power stroke is. You also have the out. Down and away with the breaking ball. Good slider down there. You get him.
The 2-2 inside in a full count. JT Realmuto, 2-out walk-off in the 10th. Phillies beat the Orioles 3-2, and they're still alive.
How about that? They're looking, I mean, they need every bit of these games.
Big pitch right here. Gallegos, Kane, 3-2 the count. Three-two. Little check swing. Gallegos. The turn. And not in time. No, yes! Les Diaz called him out. Did they get two? They get the lead man somehow, some way, and maybe turn two.
Hey, we're going to get another look at this one. It looked like instantly. It looked like Kane was safe, but it starts with the pitch. This is a 3-2 slider. Kane gets caught in between. Giovanni Gallegos pounces, throws a nice dart there. Oh, he's definitely safe. Throws a good throw there to second base to get that lead runner to Sosa. Yeah, it's not gonna last.
Well, clearly he is safe. They've just showed it apparently on the video board in Milwaukee, and you can hear the home fans' reaction. So Kane will be the runner at first base.
Oh, what a pitch right there by Giovanni Gallegos. And a really nice job of fielding his position afterwards.
Really nice job. Remember earlier in the year he threw one away just like that.
He had to pounce. He had to be quick with it, and he was. And it was a strike, perfect strike to Sosa.
Urias with a hit tonight. Base hit to center back in the fifth. He is 1 for 3. 0 for 4 head-to-head against Giovanni Gallegos. I mean, that was just a quick field turn and a strike right to the bag at second. Urias with 21 home runs. Kane at first, and the first pitch by Gallegos. Good play here by Yachty. Kept it in front.
Yachty gets up, trying to get to that thing and trying to get himself in a throwing position. He doesn't care where Urias is. He's getting the ball, and he's going to get to a place where he can make a play on it.
Kane, if you're wondering, 12 for 14 in stolen bases this year. Very good speed at first. And the 1-0 pitch by Gallegos instead of check on Lorenzo Kane. Manny Pena is on deck. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Beautiful pitch on the inside corner, 2-1.
That's about as perfectly placed as you're going to be able to put that fastball in. Put it in a spot where he needed to get a strike to get back into the count, but you also got to make sure that Urias can't get around on it. And now you have your options. Still 2-1, obvious hitter count. But Giovanni Gallegos can throw that slider now down and away.
Room on the right side of the infield. A little bit of a shift. The 2-1 pitch. Inside. 3-1. Three balls, one strike. The next by Gallegos. And he left it. The tying run, Lorenzo Cain in scoring position. Urias is at first base, and Manny Pena will be the batter. 13 pitches thus far for Giovanni Gallegos, and out to visit Mike Maddox. Runners at first and second, and one down here in the bottom of the ninth.
Hey, in that spot right there, you're obviously you're not looking to walk Luis Urias. You're not looking to put the tying run at second base, but you also are looking to be very careful. And I think in a spot, Manny Pena scares me a little bit less than Urias does, and you're trying to get him to expand a little bit, a lot like he was able to do on Cain, to get him to that little check swing ground ball back to him with the slider. So hey, still in the driver's seat right here. You got one out, you're a ground ball away from another save in 10 straight.
Pena hitting 244 with runners in scoring position coming into this at bat. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the ninth of a one-run game. Gallegos, his first pitch to Pena. Take it high. Pena, if you're wondering, is grounded into 3 double plays. Pinch hit back in the 7th and flied out to center. Gallegos has induced 4 double plays on the ground this year.
Room in on Pena and down. I mean, those are your 2 areas. He likes to get extended, likes the ball out away from him, elevated.
The 1-0 pitch. Right down central. 1-1. Kwang Hyun Kim getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen. Room on the right side of the infield. Play him to pull just a bit. The 1-1 from Gallegos. And a fly ball to center. Bader with the catch. Cain tagging up on his way to third. Wisely the throw going into second. Runners at the corners and 2 away. Christian Yelich. Well, you could load up the bases here, which they will do. And then you have the pitcher's spot, and they're down to Reyes off their bench.
It's a good decision. I mean, it was the decision at this point. Christian Yelich, I know the year has not gone exactly the way that he planned, that he did scorch a ball last time up, lined out to left field on the first pitch he ended up seeing, but wow, got to do it.
But you're putting the winning run in scoring position and saying, I'll trust my guy against Pablo Reyes, or take your chances with Christian Yelich, and we've seen enough of that at times.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Schilt has all the faith in the world in his guy, Giovanni Gallegos, on the mound to get this job done in this spot.
The wheels spinning on both sides. The final position player, Reyes, to pinch hit with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a one-run game. The first pitch by Giovanni Gallegos. Outside corner and a strike. It is a gutsy move to put the winning run in scoring position. And it's a roll of the dice. And Mike Schilt is saying, I want no part of Christian Yelich. I trust my guy, Giovanni Gallegos, against Pablo Reyes. The 0-1 pitch by Gallegos. 0-2. It was earlier in St. Louis. Remember, Yelich burned the Cardinals late.
That's 2 perfect pitches in a row. Spotted a fastball right in the outside corner, drops the slider in, down and away. Here we go.
1 strike away. Bases loaded. 0-2 the count. You want drama, you got it. The 0-2. Take it high. Kane representing the tying run. Urias, the winning run at second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Reyes, his first plate appearance with the bases loaded this year. Can he end it here? Gallegos, the 1-2. 2-2. Next delivery, number 21 for Giovanni Gallegos. One way or another could be his final pitch. The 2-2. He got him! A strikeout for Gallegos. They strand the bases loaded. And for the first time since the 2001 season, the Cardinals have won 10 in a row. 10 consecutive wins.
What a performance by the Cardinals. You knew in this ball game you were going to have some timely hitting. You were going to have to manufacture some runs. They do that. They get a couple off of Woodruff and the bullpen. Woodford have a day and way to shut it down. Cardinals pen Giovanni Gallegos. Whew, that was fun.
A gutsy move by Mike Schilt, to say the least, to put the winning run in scoring position. And he bet on his guy, and he bet right. 10 consecutive wins for St. Louis. 2-1 the final.